We are here with Golden Gate Warlock, aka Wally. He is a 6-year-old drum horse who up until recently was a serving stallion. However, he has a lovely kind temperament and he was only gelded due to being sold. I put him on the long reins in the cooler lunge yesterday to get a feel for where he's at with his training, as he was bought sight unseen. And I always like to test out new horses on the long reins to get a gauge of their reaction to things before getting on them. I was quite pleased to find that Wally was very quiet and easy to deal with. However, he has had a limited amount of training on the ground and under saddle. So his in-hand work is obviously impeccable. He's been shown in hand extensively. However, he does not easily want to move forward on the long reins, cannot manage. It was struggling to travel on a circle and maintain the trot, and it was difficult to steer. We did not get to canter because it was a challenge enough to keep him in trot for more than 2 circles. However, this is just a reflection of a limited amount of training on the flat. It is not a reflection of Wally misbehaving. So he does, like a lot of heavy horses, and if you let them, does want to lead with the inside shoulder. This is perfectly normal. And it's just a matter of teaching them to bend around your inside leg. So you're riding them from inside leg into outside rein. So I spent quite a bit of time working on just turning him left and right on the long reins. So he is getting easier to steer under saddle. However, getting him to move forward into trot was a challenge, and then maintaining that trot was a challenge. And you'll see that I'm using quite a lot of leg in walk at the moment as well, just to maintain that even rhythm and tempo in the walk. So this is not a free-flowing trot, and then getting him to maintain the trot is challenging. So we're going to be bringing this horse on in a combination of working on the long reins in the cooler lunge to develop him, to help get him straighter, which means he'll travel forward more freely, and to develop those top line muscles and those carrying muscles without the influence of a rider on his back. So this is how our training session in the cooler lunge started yesterday as well. So being that he's so unresponsive to my leg aids, you have to be careful that you don't fall into the trap of kicking for every stride. So our next training session, I will introduce the whip, but being that I'm on a strange horse and I don't know how he's going to react, I chose not to use the whip today. There's a little bit of pony club kicking going on here. So you see, we're starting to get a freer trot, but it has been quite the challenge. Now, interestingly, I actually found him easier to go forward to the left on the long reins. So now he's moving more freely to the right under saddle. Doesn't entirely make sense, but it is what it is. Nope, I take that back. Now he's actually moving more freely to the left. This is a big improvement compared to our training session on the long reins, which is what we're looking for as improvement with each training session. I did think about asking for a little canter there, but there was just no way he was going to kick over. So that's something that we'll leave for another day when he's moving forward more freely. So I said, we're not even sure this horse has been cantered under saddle. However, he does stop beautifully. So that is just a brief snippet of today's training session with Wally under saddle, where we're looking to develop the forwardness and the straightness to make him an easier horse to ride for his owners. So thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to our channel Cooler Lunge and to follow Wally's training progress.